let's be serious for a moment about Veilguard. I've been watching the trailers as they come out, and it just had me thinking, how starkly different it is from the originals. It doesn't look terrible, but it doesn't look great. It looks disappointingly average. Mostly the combat looks very button mashy, and the character interactions and the characters themselves look just so plain Jane, There's all the grit, the dark fantasy from the first one is completely gone. And looking through the comment section on those videos, it looks like I'm not alone. In more recent videos, it seems like people might have started, changing their minds a little bit. It's just utterly disappointing at how, the current state of a lot of games nowadays, it's nothing special anymore. I remember in the first Dragon Age, there was I think it was like an elf bandit of some kind. But anyways, I never liked the character, so my avatar in the game and him never got along. I didn't take him on any of the missions. This is kind of annoying and kind of for lack of better words, a prick. But anyways, I went off, I was in the camp, and I left the camp with my party, and, he ambushes me. And I think, he ambushes me with, a group of thugs. And I think it was something like someone paid him to do it, and he was sort of getting sick of me, so he said, you know what, I'm just going to take it, forget it, and done with this. But it was so memorable, and I tried to go back, because, I see if I could change it, but, the things I did to have that happen were so far back, I wasn't about to reload, 10 hours prior, right? But it was memorable. And it got me thinking that I can't really think of a lot of games nowadays that are memorable, that reside with you. The second Dragon Age, it was okay. It was a departure from that dark, gritty fantasy. And it was okay. I didn't hate it. I can't really remember that one as well as I do the first. The first is a classic, though. How do you top that? The third one, it was okay also. That was getting more towards high fantasy. And I enjoyed it for what it was, right? I remember some of the characters, mostly Cassandra and some of your advisors, but I can't really recall a lot. Where the first one I could still, it's Alst and Morgan, the two standouts, right? Bandit guy. And now we got this newest Dragon Age, and it's probably the first one I'm not gonna buy day one. I'm gonna wait for it to go on sale, unless people rant and rave about it, how great it is. Which is such a shame that it's kind of gotten to this. I kind of often wonder, what are they thinking when they make these games now? I watched, someone was on there talking about all the characters and explaining them all, and I think just about every character they talked. This person talked about how romanceable the characters were. There was some old necromancer guy, and they were like, "Oh yeah, he's so hot," and I romanced him, and oh, it was great. And I'm looking at this watch and thinking, who are they talking to? Because I know they're not talking to me. There's no way, right? I mean, it's always been a part of BioWare games. Though, I mean, at least me personally, I never picked up a BioWare game oh yeah, I'm gonna get me some of that, right? And, it was my main focus. And the other attributes they talked about with these characters were so soft. All the characters were seemed right, no jagged edges, right? And I don't get why every character is to be this paragon of virtue. Why not have, as much of a trope as it might be, the racist dwarf who just hates elves, right? What? And then, maybe if you played an elf character, he would hate you, and you can either lean into it, or you could change his mind, and by the end of the game, you have more of a mutual respect. That I have not seen that in games for friggin' years. I'm trying to remember I guess, I'm sorry. I haven't beaten it yet, but I do see that in... I can't think of the name. Super popular. Oh, Baldur's Gate 3. There's no way you're going to be able to compare Baldur's Gate 3 to the Dragon Age Veilguard, even though they're the same genre of game, but there's just different levels, right? You're talking about like Super Saiyan 3 Goku versus Krillin sort of deal, right? It's just I get the gist. Dragon Age Veilguard is going to be a nice casual play it before you fall asleep sort of game. You're going to go through it once, and then you're probably never going to think about it again. And now that I say it out loud, I'm starting to wonder if that's the intention for these games nowadays. You pay this premium, $70, and you're only supposed to play it through once. And then you're supposed to just move on to the next game. Sort of like how, like cars and things nowadays, meant to just break down, not be fixed. Or I guess phones would be a better example. Like you have your phone, it gets old, you don't fix it, you just get a new one. And it makes sense. It makes sense when I say it out loud. That they make these games just to play once, and then you don't go back to them, because they don't make money if you go back to them, right? That's a shame. It really is. And with all the the subscription-based models, you'll probably be able to play the new Dragon Age that comes out on some subscription for $12, $13 a month. Though, who wants to do that? Right? And who wants to do that? I know I'm fed up with it. And I'm not on board that gaming is dead. There's plenty of indie games out there that are awesome, fantastic even. Though the modern AAA is pretty rotten at this point. The stuff is playable, but that's just about it. It's just serviceable. Baseline, knee-deep water, serviceable. The writing is weak, the graphics is no art style to it whatsoever usually, and the gameplay is as soft, little kitten paw soft. I would like to, go back and see like when this start. Maybe around 2016. Either way, that's all I really got to say about Dragon Age Veilguard for now. What do you guys think? If someone's excited about it, I don't think there's anything wrong with it at all, being excited for Veilguard. Though, I would hate to see you get disappointed. I would taper your expectations maybe. Expect the bare minimum. I believe that's what they're going for out of this. So, let me know what you guys think. Alright, take care guys.